Hey guys, this here is Ben with TapRack Blog. We're going to be stippling this Glock 19, and I am going to do a step-by-step video on how to properly do this and make it look good. This is the pattern that we're going to be doing today. These are guns that I've done, and they have turned out really, really well. And I'm not really sure what this pattern is called. I've just always heard it called Starburst. So let's go ahead and get into what we'll need. First is sandpaper. I usually Dremel my guns out, but honestly, I think that more people have access to just regular sandpaper. 320 seems to work really, really good. You're also going to need rubbing alcohol and a rag, and you're going to need your soldering iron, and obviously a pencil. The first thing that we're going to do is we are going to decide where we want this. We're going to do from here back, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use this sandpaper as an edge here, and mark this edge so we don't go past here. You don't want to sand the entire gun, because if you do that, then it's going to look messed up. So we're going to start on this side, and you go to work. What you're doing is you're just taking this part down to where it is flush with the rest of this. And honestly, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be to where it's not a different texture. You want all of the gun that you're going to be doing the same texture. This is starting to come down here, as you can see. That's kind of like smoothing out. All of this actually has to come down, because if you go over this with the iron, this is going to look different, and this is going to look different, and then this is going to look much, much, much different. So if you want a really good even pattern, you're going to have to take all this stuff down, and we've probably got another 30 to 45 minutes of sanding on this. I kind of got a little bit spoiled, just using my Dremel and everything, and I honestly forgot how long it took to get these sanded down. So I've actually switched to a 120 grit. Be very, very, very careful taking polymer off of this gun. You can take it off, but you can't put it back on. If you take too much off, your gun's done. So just be really, really, really careful doing this, because if you sand too far, or if you sand through this, then you've basically ruined your gun. So I have this where it needs to be as far as the prep work. You can still see some of the lines in them, but they're very, very, very shallow. And honestly, for what we're doing, it's not really going to matter that much. I think our iron's about heated up. Yeah, it's getting hot. Getting into this, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to mark where we're going to start our pattern. I normally just put a little dimple in it. Okay, as you can see, there's our first shot in there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to keep making these holes go around the gun, and we kind of try and keep it with the contour of the gun. So you can see there's our first line in it. Now, what I do is I put the first line up to where we're actually going to stop, and then I'll put the second line in. And then I'll just fill that portion in. I'll just keep putting lines through, and you're kind of making a V pattern, and you're just kind of filling that up. When you're doing this, you want to make sure that you have even pressure and that you're holding for the same amount of time, because time and pressure determines the size of the hole. So what you're doing is you want to have a lot of consistency in how you put your holes in. And as you can see, if you do it properly, and the holes turn out pretty well. If you see places that you missed, like when I do this next line, I'll probably have a little bit of empty space, and I'll show you. Like we have like
just go through and just kind of touch those areas, and it puts a little small divot in it. What you're doing is you're keeping with this line here, so all of so all of your lines end here, and that kind of helps you keep your line. And what we'll do later on is we'll put this line up through here. We'll kind of extend this line up. I'll just kind of draw that in so I can stop all of it there. If you look at this pattern here, this was actually the, I think this was the second gun that I ever did, and this looks ugly as sin. This is actually my EDC gun. This looks different than this because I didn't actually sand it, and you can see the line and everything, and this looks just god-awful because it was still, you know, like that, and I just didn't actually sand it, and then I just, you know, went over it and it, you know, did that. Does this make the gun less effective? No, because this gun still grips very, very, very well. It's just honestly the ugly stick. As you can see here, as where this turned out, this pattern is smooth and it's very, very, very consistent.
The purpose of stippling is not necessarily to make your gun look good, it's to make your gun more grippy. You want to make sure that you can get a really good grip on your gun, but stippling is not really what does it. Stippling helps you, but if you don't know how to grip your gun, then honestly you just don't know how to grip your gun. Stippling is not a replacement for having the proper grip. Stippling makes it easier for you to get the proper grip, but it's not the be-all end-all of what you're doing. I am very, very happy with how this gun turned out. It looks good, it feels good, and I'm actually getting ready to text some pictures to the owner, and I hope that he thinks that it looks and feels good. I'm going to be doing a video soon when bad stippling happens to good guns. How to fix bad stippling. It's not easy, and it takes a very, very, very long time, and sometimes you can't, but we're going to make a noble attempt at a gun that has an absolutely horrible stippling job. I will have that up for you guys in the future at some point. I'm not sure when I'll have time, but anyhow, this is Ben with TapRack Blog, and I will post something else for you soon. Thanks, guys.